Hello and welcome back to LUKE-N-SHAE'S place. Glad you could stop by and join me. Hope you're wearing your smile and having a great day. I have a banger video planned for you, but before we begin with this video, go ahead and click that like button. Don't be shy to click that like button. It's so important. And also comment. Don't forget to comment, give us feedback, and share this content so that other viewers can find it. Share it with your family and friends, and go ahead and subscribe if you like the content that is being presented to you, and click that notification bell so that you get notified when we'll be posting and when we're going live. So, with so much talk out here, marriages are ending, relationships are being broken up, and there's a lot of talk where, okay, let's face it, and I have to agree, there's some craziness going on out here with women. Yes, I have to say we need to really get it together. But a lot of the men out here are saying that women are leaving their marriages because they're in their feelings and they really don't have a reason to leave their marriages, and they're just tired of their marriages. But I have some women that I'm going to share with you, and I want to give a shout out to this content creator who's doing her darn thing, Jody Island Girl. Go over and check out her content. She has great content. I'm going to put it down in the description because that's where the video is coming to you from. It's coming from Jody the Island Girl. And, well, there's women on this video that are saying otherwise, that they're leaving the relationship, or they realize that in their relationship, they actually come to grips with their man never liked or loved them. He never wanted them. So we're going to look at some women talk about that, because that's a real thing going on out here. So just want to give insight on other views out here, since some people think that women are just up and leaving their relationships. Let's take a look at what these women are saying and why he actually never, or what the signs were that he never wanted her. Let's take a look at it. Let's dive in.
Hello. Today is April 4th, my 14th wedding anniversary. It's about nearly 10:30 at night, and my husband hasn't spoken to me all day. All day. He's come home, hasn't said hello to me, hasn't said a word to me. He's ignored me. On our 14th wedding anniversary. And he's doing it because he came into some money. I didn't ask for any of it, except to not have to spend what little I have. And because I asked about it, this man has ignored me all day. All day.
What do you guys think about that? Put your comments in the comment section as I play each video. Would like to have a discussion about it, to see your, or even just to read your comments on what you would do in these situations. Yeah, so 14 years, it's our wedding anniversary. That's like a special day. You kind of look forward to your spouse, your mate, remembering that day, and maybe planning to do something special together after work or whatever the case might be. But this woman is saying that her husband hasn't spoke to her all day, and it's 14 years. It's their 14-year anniversary. So that's something. Apparently he came into some money, and she just mentioned, hey, I don't want to spend the little bit that I have, whatever the case might be. And instead he just, I guess, didn't want to hear that, and he stopped talking to her. But tell me what you would do in this situation. How would that make you feel? Would you feel like this woman? Yeah, I could see where that would be hurtful. It's your 14-year anniversary. That's a lot of years that a lot of time invested in this marriage and whatever their situation may be. But something like this, I guess she's not used to this on their anniversary. This is not their norm just by the way she's recorded this and acting. So how would you feel in this situation?
All day. It's our 14th wedding anniversary. I've been here at home all day. I called him even earlier today to let him know about the painters arriving. And even then, his response to me was, "What?" This is my life.
I know she's venting, but I mean, she's saying this is her life. Doesn't sound like this is like a one-day thing, or there might have been other things that are ways he might treat her. And this is, I guess, I don't know if this is her breaking point where she's just had enough, but let's see. Would this be enough for you to walk away if somebody's doing this on your 14th anniversary or whatever's leading up to it? Let's hear what else she has to say.
This is my life. This is what it's always been between us for 14 years. Last year was a tumultuous year for us, and all I've asked since then is marriage counseling, and to this day, a year later, nothing. Which tells me I should leave.
Okay, so she's saying last year she asked for marriage counseling. They had some issues going on, whatever was going on in their marriage, and she asked for marriage counseling. And it's a year later, and he didn't want to do marriage counseling, or, so how would you handle that situation? Because that is telling. I mean, I know a lot of times out here, and we don't know, every situation is different, but that's why I don't like to sum every situation as all women are doing the same thing, because we're not. But when you hear this woman speaking and she's saying, basically, it sounds to me as if she tried to fight for her marriage and she asked her husband to go to marriage counseling because of some issues that they had going on last year, and he declined to go. So does that sound like somebody who wants their marriage? When is enough, or when is it okay to just throw in the towel, or is it ever okay? Go ahead and comment below. Is she supposed to stay in this if he's refusing to get help for their marriage? If it's the way she say it is, and here you are on your 14th wedding anniversary and you're not even speaking to your wife. But see, if she walks out the door, then it'll be, oh my goodness, she just left, and she's supposed to stay for better or worse, whatever. But if she's saying that she's trying to get help when it's worse and he's declining it, and it's gotten to the point where you can't even speak to me on my wedding anniversary, come on. When is enough? So, and when is it gonna stop where people actually stop looking at this one-sided? Because not everybody's just walking out of their marriage because they want to. Sometimes you're fighting for it and you're fighting for it, but you cannot fight for your marriage alone. It can't be a one-side thing. It can't be one-sided. You know, it can't be. It'll never work. That you're trying to do everything for it and the other person's not even trying. At the end of the day, it's like you're just strangers passing in the night. Who wants that? But let's hear more.
Clearly.
Y'all, I forgot to tell y'all why yesterday I'm getting my hair done. And my hairstylist was, going back and forth talking to her man or whatever like that. I'm not paying no attention. She just going back and forth, as she doing my hair. And she then told him to bring her some lunch. So she on the phone telling him what she wanted to eat or whatever like that. And she asked me, she said, did you, because I was going to be there a while. She said, did you want something to eat? So I was like, yeah, she said she wanted some Popeyes. So I was like, yeah, I can get a 2-piece from Popeyes in a lemonade. All right, y'all, to make a long story short, tell me why she's doing my hair. Popeyes. And as she's doing my hair, the person who brought her lunch was my husband. Now it all makes sense why every time this girl did my hair, it was ugly.
What? Hold up. Did she just, I gotta hear that again. Did I just hear that correctly?
Was my husband. Now it all makes sense why every time this girl did my hair.
She said she's getting her hair done, and the hairstylist asked her, hey, do you want some lunch? I'm about to get some lunch. The hairstylist is like, okay, you want some lunch? And I guess the hairstylist is getting her man to bring them lunch. And the lady who's getting her hair done, it's her husband. Her husband is the hairstylist's boyfriend. Okay, I need to hear more of this. Come on. Her husband, though. All right.
My hair, it was ugly. And I had to go back, and every time it was ugly, but she also fixed it, right? So now it's making sense.
It's not bad enough that the hairstylist is having an affair, or your husband's having an affair. It's because he's your husband. He's having an affair with your hairstylist, but you're sitting in her chair. You're not knowing this. And she talking about she goes to her and she does her hair ugly. This woman is purposely doing her hair ugly. I don't know if she's doing it so she come back and fix it and charge more. To be sitting under this woman doing your hair and she's having a whole affair with your husband. Oh my good. Yeah. And people are walking at it. Listen, I'm not saying everybody's walking out for stuff like this, but come on. Is this enough for her to be given the okay to leave? Should she stay in a situation like this? And okay, I need to hear more. Is he actually going to bring the food there with her there? Let's go.
It seemed like she knew that was my husband, because how you didn't know? Y'all, when I say I turned that salon up and down, I flipped over every chair, every sink that was in there. Because what you not gonna do is play in my face.
I should have known when he wasn't taking any initiative to plan dates. Only wanted to do things last minute.
I should have known when it was my birthday, and my husband told me to keep driving around and not come home yet because he was planning something to get the house ready, gifts, whatever. And I would come to find out later it's because he was busy talking on the phone to his girlfriend.
Oh, that's so sad. Listen, make sure if you're just joining me, go ahead and click that like button. Help me get an algorithm. Very important. And go ahead and share. If you like the content that I'm sharing with you and it adds value, go ahead and share. Again, in the description, you'll see the content creator who created this video that I'm sharing, and go over and check out her page, Jody, the Island Girl. Great content over there. But I'm listening to these women, and make sure, I would love to see your comments. What would you do in these situations? I should have numbered each one. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have did that. But for each one, let me know what you would do. What would you do in a situation? The one prior to her said she should have known when he basically stopped planning things with her. He stopped, just... And then this woman, on her birthday, she's thinking he's planning something. He's like, don't come home yet. Just ride around. I'm planning something. How sad is that you're planning nothing? You're talking on the phone to some other woman. Listen, I'm just saying, when we sit here and we push that whole narrative that women are just leaving their marriages basically for nothing, they just woke up and had a change of heart. Let's face it, that's not what's going on. Sometimes people are in relationships with people that don't want them. Sometimes time will tell, right? Time will tell. You might not know right away, and sometimes we do, women, let's face it. Sometimes we overlooked red flags, and it was right before our eyes. Those signs were right before our eyes, and we just tried to make excuses. Oh, you know what? Maybe he's just having a bad day, or no. Let's stop making excuses, and let's watch more.
I should have known when his own mother said he's probably not the marrying kind.
I should have known. When the good morning test felt sweet and nice. But then the conversation wasn't happening until late at night. And the what are you doing text messages late at night. Do you want to come over? Do you want me to come over? I should have known.
I want you to hear me clear. Men make decisions based on what is beneficial to them. And a man will stay with you even though he hates you, because your presence and labor in his life is beneficial to him, and it will be against his own interest to leave you. Your love, your care, your labor in the home, the way that you take care of the children, the way that having a wife benefits him at work, church, school, whatever he has going on, especially a lot of these like high-powered jobs, doctors, lawyers, like that. They need a wife because they cannot sustain a life on their own. They are getting free emotional and actual labor from you, and that is.
She sounds like she's talking about a marriage of convenience. And sometimes people are out here doing that. And that's something, right? Do you stay in a marriage of convenience? Once you realize that's what it is, and the person's just going through the motions with you, and they don't really love you. You're just, like she said, it's just convenient for you to be in the home. It's convenient for me to have you out in the community. When I make my post, it makes me look good because I'm showing others, hey, look what I'm doing for my family. So then that's having other people be like, oh my gosh, he's such a good guy. He's such a great guy. But it's almost like a stand-in person. It's almost like you're the stand-in person until they find the person that they want. That's exactly what it is. And it's sad. But some people, they just have a thing where they fake it. They don't really want you. But then it's like, why are you wasting people's time? Why are you wasting women's time? Okay, let's go.
That is why they say. So they would rather stay and have their interests served and hate you hate you than actually be like, you know what, I actually kind of hate them bitches guts, and being around her is causing me to feel insecure and causing me to feel stressed out, and this really wasn't a good decision for me, so I'm gonna leave because in good conscience I shouldn't be here taking advantage of this person. No, they're going to take advantage of you until they can find another person to fill those needs. That's why oftentimes when women are diagnosed with terminal illnesses, they're left by themselves. The men move on and find they're partnered before the woman even passes away. These cancer centers and shit are full of women with their men supporting them. A lot of the women are usually left alone. So you have to ask yourself, if I hated this person, I would leave. So why are they still with me? They're very self-serving people, which I don't necessarily think is a hugely bad thing. I think women can be more self-serving than they are, but men will stay with you and hate your fucking guts because it serves their self-interest. Even if it's down to, I know I can come home and have sex with her sometimes. Or I know I come home mad and she's gonna coddle me and try to see what's wrong. Or I know I can come home and she will help me solve a problem. She'll help me with my business. She'll help me with my business plan. She'll help me study. She'll help me with my schoolwork. All the time he hates you. Got it?
Do you stay in something like that? Because there's a lot of people that'll say, hey, but you're supposed to stay because that's the person that you married. But that's horrible. What she just said, oh my goodness. The facts in that, 100% with that. You hear it too much and it happens a lot, and we seem to be overlooking that right now. But a lot of times you will have women, and true story, trust me, I've experienced it, but you'll have women that stay because they feel like this is their duty. They're supposed to. They were taught to. You don't run away. You don't give up. You have to, and God frowns upon divorces, and you don't want to, all the things that you're told, and yes, knowing the Bible, but, when there's factors and there's different things where if they're giving up on that marriage and they're not trying to fight for that marriage and they don't want to seek help for that marriage, and it's, like I said, one-sided, it's not going to work. It takes two to make that marriage 100%. You can't have 50% and expect the other 50 to just be okay. No, it takes two in that relationship. So, are you going to stay in something with somebody who doesn't even show that they want, their actions is showing they don't want you? When is it time to just throw in the towel? Or is it ever time?
Know what's going on, queen.
These are some things my husband did that showed me he really hated my guts. Like, real bad. So, number one, he wouldn't take interest in my desires and what interested me, the music I listened to. Like, he wasn't interested in coming into my world. He wanted me to come into his world. He wanted us to become one under the condition that we would only become one to the extent that I would emulate him and the kind of woman he wanted to be with long term. Number two, in our disagreements, he would never just take full accountability and say, okay, let's move on. Like, he wouldn't say, oh, I was wrong, and you know what, how can I improve? He would never say that. His thing would be, okay, I did this, but what about you? I didn't like when you did this on February 17th in 2019. I didn't like when you did this and da-da-da. We could never just come to a conclusion, get to a resolution, and move forward with new insight. We can never just do that, because his thing was, let me flip it back on you because I don't like the spotlight of accountability. Number three, he was not interested in reciprocal sexual encounters.
Some of this is given narcissists. Listen, some of these behaviors, and I've been looking into this, trust me, and I shared, if you look in my previous videos, there's a great content creator that touches on narcissists and actually gives different videos on how to tell if you're with a narcissist and people that you're dealing with. And some of this is given that what she's saying, that whole me, my, just one-sidedness. And yeah, it's not showing that this person wanted her. If he's all about himself, he's not even caring about the things that she likes or trying to even do the things she likes. It's all about him. And no, I don't know. I'm wondering why she decided to still marry him. But then again, a lot of us have to ask ourselves that, because again, we had signs like this and we just ran past him. So let's look and see more.
Our sexual encounters were not an exchange of energy and passion. It was a playground for him to be satisfied, and I was never the center. On our honeymoon night, I remember getting up out that bed and I was like, is this really how I'm about to spend the rest of my time? I had to go the bean, you feel me? I had to go do that on my honeymoon. He didn't care. He just rolled over. He hated me. I didn't even realize it.
How's she doing that on her honeymoon night? Come on. That's supposed to be a special night with your mate. That's supposed to be like, okay, we finally did it. We finally tied the knot. And we're going to just have some fun. Let's mess up these sheets wherever we are on our honeymoon. But she said that he just rolled over and she had to go take care of herself. Come on. On your honey, he just from the gate started off like this. This is horrible. Like, come on, that's not, I can't even, I can't. I'm sorry. And people are out here saying that women are just leaving, like, oh, no, because you get tired of that. And I feel bad because she married this guy. I don't know if she was seeing that when they were dating. And that's not to say that she wasn't intimate. She might not have been intimate with him when she was dating him. Maybe this was the first time they were intimate and she realized, and now you said I do already, and this is what you're getting. So in situations like that, I don't know. Let's hear more. This is something.
All right, I think this is what, number 4? He allowed his friends and his friend's wife to disrespect me, and he never stood up for me. So there was an instance, I have it on my YouTube, where I said my pastor's wife tried to fight me, literally tried to fight me, pulled up to my crib and everything. This man never defended me. When I'm talking about, she was going in, she called me fat, she called me this, you built like this, da, 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 da. And he just like, y'all calm down. You hate me. Like, this was the turning point. I gotta do a part 2 because this right here was the turning point. This is when I literally said, oh, he hates me. Even people I don't have to love you to defend you if somebody's wrong as hell. So you tell me this man's supposed to be my husband, he my baby daddy, and you're not even defending me? Oh, I was through.
You want to know what's heartbreaking? Watching your man's love for you turn into hate. It is literally one of the most heartbreaking things that you can experience. When suddenly it feels like even the way you breathe aggravates them. They stop handling you with care and consideration, and like even the smallest conversations feel forced. And you can't even remember the last time that he told you he loved you unprovoked. And don't let those memories pop up. And you see the videos of how he used to look at you and love on you, and you realize that y'all haven't been in that space in a very long time. You can literally feel him giving up on you. He's touching you less, kissing you even less. Sex feels like it's just something for him to get off.
So I would love to hear from the guys too. So is she wrong for feeling this way? From what she's describing her relationship and how it is in her relationship, is that somebody that's in her feelings? Like, okay, she should be accepting this. I'm pretty sure it's not. I don't think a lot of these women, because from what they're saying, they've had conversations with their husband, whatever. So when they're doing a video, I think sometimes sometimes people have a cry for help, and you just need to talk to someone, but you know how you don't really know who to talk to, because if you tell your friends, it's like, okay, well, if I have a gathering, it's going to be awkward because now my friend knows my situation with my husband, and if we work things out, then that friend might hold that against them, or vice versa with family members. Sometimes you don't want to tell family members there's an issue in your marriage because you don't want them to look at your husband funny at the Thanksgiving dinner or whatever have you. And so it's kind of like some people just turn to making a video. I'm going to have strangers comment and maybe tell me if this is wrong, that I'm feeling this way, or whatever the case might be. I mean, the way she's describing this, yeah, I can relate to that. I mean, it can be horrible if you feel that way. And like I said, in my relationships, past relationships, whatever the case might be, I've had stuff like this where you're just like, wait a minute, does this person love me if they're actually talking about me at work? Or, you see different things that happen and you're like, is this person defending me or no? And you see them actually talking crap. It really makes a difference when you have your person, whoever that your husband, even with men, you want your person by your side, but they should never feel like an enemy. You should never feel like you're in a home with an enemy. It should never be where you're behind each other's backs, and that's horrible. That's no way to be. But is she wrong for feeling this way? When is enough enough? Because again, you women, you're not built tough and you're just leaving these relationships and you're getting divorces. But every woman that I heard speak so far, I'm like, Now, for her, I would hope that they could maybe get counseling and maybe get help for whatever. Maybe he's going through something, I don't know. But it sounds like a lot of these guys are just falling off, or they just never were really truly in these relationships in the first place.
Rather than an intimate moment. Literally zero intimacy. It's especially hurtful when you've been nothing but a good woman and they just feel like you no longer serve a purpose in their life. Then when you finally start to realize what you wanted for a lifetime might have only been meant for a season. And that's crazy. And honestly, to me, that's
Yeah, what she just said, I definitely, I can agree with her that sometimes you are getting into relationships thinking that, hey, this is going to be a lifetime, but everything is not meant for a whole lifetime. Sometimes people are in your life for a season. So that could be, and he's definitely showing that he's only there for a season. My dog is over there having dreams. I don't know if you guys can hear her, but it's actually funny. I don't know what she's chasing in her dream, but all right, let's get back to the video.
That's the scariest part about relationships and opening up your heart to somebody. Because the person you love can literally wake up one day and feel completely different. And feel like you're not the person they want to do life with anymore. And that, my friends, is a very, very tough pill to swallow.
I used to go around asking men for advice about getting married, and now that I'm 4 years in, I realize that a lot of these men didn't like their wives. After I posted that video, this comment read, "Can you talk more about liking your wife?" So many men seem to generally dislike and seem to be annoyed by women they love but don't like. What I've both seen and learned as I've grown is that men will marry women who serve them even if they don't like them. That's how patriarchy conditions them. For example, if you ask a cis man what he likes about his partner, he'll soon begin listing the ways in which she serves him. You know what I mean? Like, I think society conditions men to not like women. Like, you love them, you feel a sense of duty towards them, you get one and you take care of them because that's what men do, we're taught. And you're hearing your whole life from church, the men in your life, the media, that women talk too much, they don't listen, they're disagreeable, they're emotional. Cis men tend to like other men in non-romantic ways. They like being around their guys and spending time with them, and sometimes these men talk to each other about how much they don't like their wives. But men will marry women who serve them, who are submissive and obedient and who know their place. Because as I've said, in the eyes of patriarchy, there can be no relationship without control. All liking someone is feeling attraction towards them or taking pleasure in them, delighting in them. Like I like my wife. I like talking to her and being around her. Even if we're not doing stuff together, I feel better knowing that we're occupying the same space. I like her laugh and the way she speaks. Sometimes I just like watching her exist. Something about it fills me up, inspires me, reminds me. Like she's my person, my favorite person. Seeing her makes me feel happy.
Wow, this guy, he's been going around asking guys what it is they like about marriage, and he's saying that he's finding that men don't really like women, or they don't like the women that they married, and he just dropped a lot of information right there. And I love what he said about his wife, how that's his person. He loves just seeing sometimes that she even exists. He's happy about that. So it's interesting. You know, he's going around actually interviewing guys. And so I know we want to throw the ball, and it's not a tit for tat thing. Guys, I'm not coming for you because I know there's a lot of back and forth out there, but we're just going to show that there's an even playing field here where women aren't just leaving just to leave. Excuse me.
Happy and safe. Yes, we're people that argue. Sometimes we annoy each other. But because we like each other, it doesn't take long for either of us to begin a resolution. Because who wants to not be talking to someone they actually like for the sake of pride? Thank you for watching, and like and follow for more content.
Everyone's going to hate me for this one. But actually, the girls that get it, and the girls that don't. Don't watch this video if you're not healed. I'll be so real, because you're not going to be able to take it. At the end of the day, you can only get played if you're an idiot. You can only get played if you're a fool. It's really that simple. If you're naive, if you're stupid, whatever word you want to use, you don't know the knowledge, so it's easy to get played. 9 times out of 10, you gave him the cheat code on how to play you. You told him everything that he has to do to be able to get what he wants. You told him, I don't open my legs unless I'm in a relationship, and you're wondering why now in 2 weeks you're cuffed. You told him that if you're not taken out on about 4 dates, you're not going to go to a hotel with him. You told him. You gave him the cheat code to play with your heart. And it doesn't matter if you told him implicit or explicitly, you still told him. At the end of the day, they can only play you with what they're given. So this is how to not get played. So stop telling people your boundaries. Keep your boundaries in your head, okay?
Hey, how many of you guys agree with her? Is it important to not tell too much? Sometimes people can feed off of that, and sometimes people know how to push her buttons. Sometimes they can tell, okay, well, I know she's doing this, so let me do this. It's kind of like they feed off of the stuff you might have told them, like, okay, well, so are we helping people to play us in our relationships? To actually be fake in a relationship, because I call that fake. If you have to do this because I feel this way, or you're kind of playing off of something that I might have shared with you. Are we giving too much information in that way? And I don't feel like you should be playing games in a relationship anyway. If you have to do all that, why are we even together? Because that's just games. Who wants to play games? It should be real. Two people coming together because they want something real, not this fake gameplay. And that's for school, that's for the playground, and we should be past that. But let's see more.
This boy is not your friend. You don't need to tell him nothing. Do you get it? You don't owe him anything. Let me give you an example. Let's just say in my head, I'm not going to link a guy unless he's taken me out about 4 times. Let's just say that. He has to just keep taking me out. And let's just say he takes me out 3 times and now decides, oh, can I come round? Do you want to come round? You don't need to say anything. It's just done. Stick to your boundaries, no matter how small they are, because small boundaries always turn into big red flags. He ruined it for himself. He's never going to know that he ruined it, but he doesn't need to know, because as soon as you tell them, they're going to make a change. As soon as you tell him, oh, no, you've only taken me on 3 when I said 4. Oh, he's going to start, and he's going to talk his way out of it if he's a good talker. So girls, again, let me repeat for you. Have your boundaries in your head. As soon as he breaks it, just walk away. Block, bye, on to the next. Because I guarantee you another guy's going to move you in about 2 weeks' time.
One of the most painful but liberating things that I have had to learn and accept over the last year, now that I'm going to be going through this divorce with my husband, is the fact that he doesn't like me. Like, he doesn't like me as a person at all. And I don't even know if he ever really liked me. I do believe that he loved me. I do believe that, very much so. And I feel like even now, you know, we've been together for 20 years, married for 17 years. Like, even now, I think that he still has like a love for me and a care, sort of. But he does not like me at all. And that has been so hard to accept, and because the concept of it was just unbelievable to me. How could you marry me? How could you vow to spend the rest of your life with me? How could we have these amazing kids together and we've...
That's a long time, 20 years. I think she said married for 17, together for 20 years. 20 years, and she's saying she doesn't think that he ever liked her. She believes he loved her. I don't know how you can say that if he never liked you, but yeah, and that's a long time. That is. And you have children together, and she said she's in the process of a divorce. That's sad to hear that. It is. It is. And guys, I don't know. Go ahead and comment. I would love to hear your comment. Again, if you're just now joining me, go ahead and click that like button, help put me in the algorithm. But what do you think about this? Is this something that you've experienced before, where you were with someone and you got with them, you liked certain things that she did, maybe something she could bring to the table, she offered things, maybe she spoiled you in a certain way, and you just dated her because it was convenient at that time, but that's not really the woman that you wanted. So maybe after a while, did you treat her a certain way? Let me know. Is this something that happens? Because it seems to be happening a lot. All right, let's go.
We've constructed this entire life as partners together, and you don't even like me as a person. Obviously, there were signs the entire time that he didn't like me. And of course, I spent a lot of time and a lot of mental and emotional energy just rationalizing, making excuses for why he was treating me the way that he was treating me. But the idea that was because he didn't like me was just completely inconceivable to me. Just over this last year, particularly doing a lot more reading, listening to other women's stories, and a lot more having a bigger understanding of like marriage and relationships has really gotten me in this place to finally accept what was the truth that was sitting in front of me this entire time. It's been super, super painful. A painful process, and I'm still going through it. My husband and I are still living together because of finances, but we are going to be splitting up probably within the next 6 months, and it's really hard.
Has anybody else ever had to do that? I have. Have you ever had to do what she's doing because of finances and because of maybe the cost of living or whatever the case might be? Have you ever basically been in a relationship that was done? You both know it's done, but you have to stay together because right now that was convenient and it's what you can afford. Instead of him leaving, her leaving, you guys both just stay in the household and you're just walking past each other like strangers in the night. Have you ever had to do that? That's hard to do. And it is. It's like, okay, we're not together, but you're seeing this person coming and going. They're probably going on their dates. You're going on your, whatever the case might be. You're in your room now talking to whoever because you're trying to have some kind of you want to feel wanted, right? So you already, people do it all the time. They're still in the household with someone, and it's hard because, yeah, you should be fully out of your relationship, but there's times where people can't just up and leave the household. So yeah, the person might be there for another year. They might be there for, like she's saying, 6 months, and you're just passing through, and that's hard. It is. But let's go.
Hard. But it does remind me that I'm doing the right thing. It does tell me, the fact that I'm even acknowledging that truth and accepting it is saying I'm making real progress to healing, progress to like loving and liking myself. This is a good sign, that I'm on the right track and that I'm doing the right thing for me.
If there's one thing I've learned dating men, it's that doing less will always get you more. Always. I feel like a lot of women have a tendency to think like when you start liking him, you're like, oh, okay, I like him. Let me cook him dinner. Let me see if I can pick him up from work. Let me buy his meal sometimes. You start thinking if I do all of this, then he will see what a catch I am. It's having the opposite effect, I promise. Have you ever heard a man be in a relationship with a woman or he's like, I liked her because she did so much for me? Was it a healthy relationship that it looked like you want to be a part of? Did it seem like he respect her?
Actually, I can't say that I've ever heard a man say that he liked her because she did so much for him. No, that's not something I've ever heard. In fact, I would hear the opposite if a woman was doing a lot. I would hear my guy friends say, man, I don't know, she's too, and then that word would jump out, she's too clingy. So I'm like, why is she clingy? I don't know, sometimes she brings me lunch, and I don't mind that she brings me lunch, but I just feel like, it's just like, she's just wanting to know, like, if I need anything, and I'm thinking, that's clingy? I thought that's what you guys wanted in a wife. You want somebody who's going to make sure she's your helpmate. She's going to make food and she's going to do things that a wife does. If you can see that she's doing that as a girlfriend, then, I thought that was, but some guys call that clingy and they don't like it. But I also heard the comment, I've heard that before for women advice, where they say less is more. The less you do, the more you get from a guy. The more he'll appreciate you, the more he'll text you because it's a chase for him, right? He doesn't want the woman that's going to be right at his beck and call. As soon as he snaps his fingers and you're saying, hey, how high do you want me to jump? He doesn't want that. He wants the chick that he has to have a chase with. He has to conquer it. It's like, okay, it's a challenge. So it sucks how backwards it is. I think it's backwards, but okay, she's saying less is more. Do you agree with that? Go ahead and comment below. I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Did it seem like he really loved her? Or did it sound like she was a maid? When men like you, they want to give to you. When men like you, no matter what they have, whether they rich, poor, or somewhere in between, they want to give to you because they know that that's what it's going to take to get more of her time. If I have to buy her lunch, I'm going to buy her lunch because I need some more of her time. If I have to pick her up from work, I'm going to pick her up from work. Whatever it takes to get some more of her time. If I have to get her tires fixed, then I'm fixing them tires. Whatever it takes to get more of their time. When they like you, they want to do all that stuff. But you as a woman, when you start thinking, how do I make him like me? Oh, let me go do this, that, and the third. You already lost. Because it looks like you're auditioning to be his girlfriend. And if you are auditioning to be his girlfriend, you're never going to make it past the tryouts. I promise. I saw TikTok the other day. This is not about her. It's no hate to the creator before y'all start calling me bullies and all types of names in my comments. Not about her. It's just an example. But she was saying that she's been dating a man since June. It's October. She's been dating this man. And there's been multiple occasions where he's at work and he texts her and says, I'm hungry. I forgot my lunch. Will you bring me some food? So she's like, oh, yeah, sure. She will go get the food, buy the food, no reimbursement, coming out of pocket and never getting it back, and bring it up to his job like she's a DoorDash driver. That's what it was giving. It was giving DoorDash. And now she's told him, hey, I really like flowers. Will you buy me some flowers? Which you really should not even ever have to ask a man to buy you flowers. Personal opinion, sorry. Nonetheless, he said no. I'm not doing it. I don't buy women flowers. that man is in receipt.
No, that's no. I like what she said about the woman that being more like a DoorDash person. It's like, okay, can you bring me lunch? Can you? So she's going out of her way to get this man lunch, and she's paying for it. She's bringing it to his job, and she's thinking, this is gonna land me that, yes, that relationship with him. He has to love me because I'm going above and beyond for him. I'm showing myself as like, wow, this great girlfriend. And behind the scenes, he's I don't even have a word for him. You couldn't even get this woman flowers. Screw all that I don't get women flowers mess. She's doing all that. Now, save the I don't get flowers for the woman that you're trying to figure out if she's just after your money in the beginning. Okay, I can see guys having the conversation, oh, don't bring flowers to the first date because then she's going to expect that. Whatever things that you guys are trying to figure out. But this sounds like you've been seeing this woman for a while. She's bringing you lunch whenever you call on her. You couldn't give her flowers, and why does she have to ask for them? But okay, sometimes I think some of the games that we're playing out here can be dangerous to the point where you might be lonely. You might end up by yourself because while you're trying to figure out if this person is X, Y, or Z, that might be the woman that God had for you, and you might see her just pass by because of your whole stupidity of trying to pinch pennies and not get flowers, and then okay, let's go on. Ooh,
Receiving mode. He's not in giving. He's in, his palm is open. It's open, and you keep putting stuff in it. You keep putting stuff in it. So why would he ever turn the tables? Now, for that specific situation, I think he really just don't like her that much. But that's not my business, and that's not my point. My point is, when you as a woman get in the mood where you keep giving and giving and giving, he's going to take and take and take and take. His hand is open, and he's not going to close it. He would be a fool to. Why would he stop taking when he could just keep taking? What do you mean? So when you get that urge, when that little voice in your head is like, oh, let me go cook him his favorite meal, even though he's never done anything to deserve this. Let me go cook him his favorite meal and drop it by his house. And then he will see what a good girlfriend I would be. You've already
I'm
lost,
guilty.
babe. You've already lost. Give it.
How many women out there are guilty of this? Listen, I can speak up and take accountability where accountability is due. I have done stuff like this, and you just think that it's something sweet. It's a sweet gesture, and birthdays, whatever the case might be, and you surprise them with something. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be for anything. It could just be just because, oh, I was just thinking about you. But who knew that I was being, this is horrible, but okay, let's go.
Give it up.
Ladies, I'm gonna be real with you. The worst thing that you could possibly do while dating or talking to a guy is believing him when he tells you that he's going through things or he's fighting demons, because I'm going to tell you 110% that he is lying to you. The only time a guy will tell you something like this is when he knows that he is talking to another girl and he cannot separate his attention between the two of you. So hence that's why you will get the butt in. He will try to make it seem like he has all of these problems that just magically appeared out of nowhere, when in actuality another girl just entered the equation. And you see, the thing is, since another girl entered the equation, he is going to have a shift in his energy. So you're going to notice that he's going to start being mean to you and start arguing with you out of nowhere without no justifiable reason or cause. You see, the sad reality is, if y'all aren't in a relationship, he's going to tell you that he's not ready for a relationship because of that other girl. And the thing is,
This is real talk. Oh my goodness. It's like he's looking into does it feel like he knows about some of your relationships here when he's giving advice? Why is it that people tell on themselves, though? If they're seeing somebody else or whatever the case might be, sometimes their actions are telling, because he just mentioned sometimes there's like a shift, a change in their personality. There's the way they treat you, or all of a sudden, answers might be short, or they just seem like you're bothering them. And it could be that you are just genuinely concerned, like, hey, what's going on? You seem a little distant. Nothing. Why are you keep? And it's like, it could be the first time you're asking a question. You're asking, hey, so is everything okay between us? Whatever, you just want to know, because it seems like we're a little distant here. We haven't gone anywhere, or we're not doing anything. We're not intimate. There could be 50 million things that have changed, and you want to know, like, hey, I'm over here. Did you forget about me? Just making sure, because I thought, on this date, we said that we were going to be together, and we've been married for this long, and I just want to make sure you remembered me. I was your wife. And so when you ask them, because you're supposed to go to them, and some people find other ways to try to find out how their mate is. They want to know, and they might go to social media, which is not recommended. Don't do that. Go to the source. Go to the source and say, I noticed that you're being a little quieter. I noticed that you've just been distant. We haven't been, is everything okay? Because I want you to tell me before you start telling your friends and I should be the person that you come to, because, okay, we kind of stood and took our vows together, for better and worse. We should be having communication. Or if I'm girlfriend and boyfriend, hopefully I'm girlfriend and boyfriend because I want to lead to a marriage. I don't want to just have a boyfriend, just to have a boyfriend. Hopefully I want it to be long term, and I want to have the title wife eventually. So I want to have communication. So if I'm going to you and I'm asking you, hey, is everything okay? Because I noticed that you've been a little quiet, just a little concerned, you haven't been yourself. Now, if that person loves you, and, you should be able to come to me and tell me that. But if you all of a sudden get defensive, like, okay, what do you mean? Is something wrong with me? Why would you, does it seem like, and if they get an attitude, then it's like, okay, sometimes people don't know how to come to you and open up. So they'll try to throw it back on you, or it's always going to be your fault well, I was fine until you came over here and assumed something was wrong with me. And you're like, what the freak? But no, it's a shame. Some people don't know how to communicate. But I bet you those people, a lot of them, they're not telling you, but go look on their social media. They'll tell everybody else, and it'll be a code. It'll be some kind of quote that they'll post. Like, I would wear my smile, but every day seems gray. It'll be some weird, and I just definitely made that up. But and you'll be looking, and you're trying to decipher what is this gloomy post on their social media. And it's, you got people chiming in, oh my goodness, are you okay? Is everything all right? If you need, just call me. No, go to the person that's making you feel like your day's gray. Come to me. Let me know and sometimes it's not even something wrong. Sometimes they're making things up in their head because, as this gentleman is saying, they've been talking to somebody else. It has to be gloomy at home. I have to have issues at home, because if not, it doesn't serve the purpose for me talking to that other woman. I have to have a reason to be upset with you. So I'm going to be bad. You're going to ask me what's wrong with me, and then I'm going to give you attitude, so then I can further be quiet. I can be quiet even more, and now have you wondering. And then it's like, why am I feeling guilty because I came to you and asked you if there's an issue? Why do I feel bad for doing that? I'm supposed to do that. I'm the wife. I'm supposed to come to you and say, hey, are you okay? What does that help me? If I'm going to sit there and just let you storm around and, no. Okay, so with that being said, sometimes people create issues. What I'm trying to say, they create issues when there is no issues, because they already have somebody in their phone that they're chatting to and starting a whole nother relationship with. So that's a sign for you. All right, let's go.
He is not going to break up with you or just leave you alone because he needs you as the placeholder to stick around in case him and that other girl doesn't work out. But y'all stay safe though.
Let's be honest. If a man really hates you, he's not going to always come right out and say it. But his actions, well, his actions scream it. His actions will tell the truth every single time. So here are 4 signs that he really hates you. And again, ladies, pay attention. Number 1, he's always disrespecting you. Not once or twice, but always. He calls you out your name. He talks down to you. He makes slick comments that cut deep. If he can't respect you, he doesn't love you. Point blank. Number 2, he makes you feel like you are a burden. You text him, he takes hours to text back, or hell, he doesn't even respond. When you ask for his time or attention, suddenly you are too needy. But if he wants something from you, you better jump. Yeah, that's hate in disguise. Number 3, he embarrasses you in public. He flirts with other women in front of you. He talks reckless about your business, or he even acts like you're not even there. A man who loves you protects your dignity. He doesn't destroy it. Number 4, he shows zero effort to make things better. Every relationship has its own problems. But if he sits back and watches you do all the work while you cry, he doesn't care. Someone who loves you will fight for you. They won't make you fight alone. Stop making excuses for a man who's showing you with his actions that he doesn't even like you, let alone love you. You deserve better.
She just gave some good signs. So I hope anybody who needs to take notes, taking mental notes out there, and you don't have to keep saying, wow, that sounds like me. I know some of you are out there like, wow, that sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. I know you knew it. You knew it way back when you said you do. I do. You stood before him and you said, I do with your vows. You knew. He showed you those signs, and you just ran right past them. A lot of us ran right past those signs. A lot of people in their relationships, you ran past these signs. So I don't believe in my heart that women are out here just running away from their relationships, running away from marriages. I'm not saying that there's not some women out here that are doing that. I'm not saying that at all, but the majority is not the ones doing that. And I believe the majority are the ones like this speaking in the videos. Not that we all have videos that we're making when things go wrong in a relationship, but for the women that are out here making videos, because someone might need to hear that if they're going through the same thing as you or something similar. Maybe your video can help them see that, this person never liked or loved you. And these are signs and these are ways that they're showing you that they just didn't want us. They didn't want you. They didn't want her. They just got into these relationships because it was convenient. And sometimes they just get into these relationships because they just need that. Some people just don't want to be alone. And so sometimes you're just that stand-in girl until the woman he really wants comes along. Sad to say, but it's true. It really happens out here.
Better than someone who treats you like an option, or even better yet, an enemy.
You know how you're going to get over that man? No tea, no shade. You know how you're going to get over that man? Keep going back. Keep going back. Keep going back, because there ain't nothing nobody can say or do to make you leave that man. But keep going back. I promise you'll get over him. That man ain't treating you right. Keep going back. Every time you leave him, keep going back. I promise you. I know I sound crazy. Why are you telling me to keep going back to a man that treat me like shit? Da, da, da. because you want to see it for yourself. I'm telling you, I dealt with it for like 4 years. Kept going back, and then one day I woke up and something just turned me off. I was really like, what the fuck? Like, everything about that man disgusted me. I'm talking about ick up to the utmost. Nothing he could do, say, I don't care if he was begging or crying on his knees, would make me go back to that man. Everything turned me off. The way he looked, the way he talked, him calling me, him texting me. And at first I was crying in shambles. But if you want to get over that man, keep going back. I promise you. It has nothing to do with being weak. Sometimes it's just a stage that you have to literally pass through. Because if you decide to leave on everybody else's terms but your own, you're going to be in denial for a long time.
What she said. What do you guys think about what she said? She said if you want to get over, you truly want to get over that man, when you're being treated like this and he's not showing that he loves you or he even wants you, you keep going back in that relationship. She said she did that for 4 years, and one day she woke up, everything was all good that day, but she just realized, I don't want this. This is not for me. Keep going back. How many of you would give that advice? But what she said there toward the end, yes, I find that to be true. Because if you're breaking up because everybody else told you to, like, you ever have those friends and people in your ear like, girl, you can do better, you don't need him, and you, in that moment when you are having your little time with your girls and you're just like, yeah, you just feel, and then but when you go home, it's like you have that doubt where like, no, I know he loves me, and you keep making these excuses in your head when your friends are not around or your family members. And if you leave, it's not because you wanted to, because you still had doubt. So when you leave, you're thinking, did I do the right thing? Should I have ended this relationship because, and then you might go into, well, no, I only left because so-and-so told me to leave. I listened to them, I'm stupid. And if you see that person move on, now you're just beating yourself up. You're like, oh my goodness, he probably loved me, now he moved on, I can never get this right. And then you're never gonna know. But like she's saying, it's almost like a habit, right? Because sometimes, I hate to say that, sometimes people treat other people like they're a habit. It's like they're an addiction, right? Until you had enough of it. Nobody can make you quit. You have to want to quit, right? So somebody telling you, oh, that's bad for you, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be doing that. It's just words going in one ear and out the other. And until you have the day where you say, you know what, this is enough, it's the same thing that works with relationships. If it's a bad relationship, if you have all this happening, until you realize, I have had enough, this is not for me, somebody else telling you to leave, it's not going to work. So I do appreciate what she just said right there.
In the back of your heart is going to be like, I left on everybody else's terms. I didn't leave when I was ready, so why did I leave in the first place? And then you're going to end up going back. But when you leave on your terms, baby, there ain't going to be no coming back.
The best thing that I ever did was randomly wake up one day and decide I no longer want that for myself. Like, one day I just randomly decided I no longer want this person to make me feel this way. And it's crazy because out of all the bullshit I went through, it took a random day where literally nothing happened. It was actually a good day for me to decide this is my final day dealing with shit. And it's crazy because no matter how much people I spoke to about the relationship and my problems, or like how many times this man showed it still wasn't clicking, Steven. Like, I still wasn't getting it. Like, I literally just woke up with more strength than the day before, and I was like, I need tomorrow's situation to be better. And it starts with me leaving this nigga. Like, what the fuck? And the day I did that, I never looked back, y'all. Like, I never needed closure. I never looked back. I didn't stalk their page. I didn't look for the news. I literally got rid of everything that associated me to that man. Like, every single thing down to my phone number, y'all. And I just revoked all access to me, literally. So I say all of this to say, like, if you think you're stuck, you're not. You're stuck on stupid. And life did not end when that relationship ended for me. It actually got better.
Why is it that at the start of a relationship, when the woman is still in her own energy, she has her own friends, she has her own passions and hobbies, and she takes care of herself, she goes to the gym, the man is obsessed and the man wants to chase? And then slowly, as the relationship progresses, we as women naturally do this more than men, and half the time we don't even realize that we're doing it. We start to stop prioritizing ourselves and start to prioritize the man and put him on the pedestal and not ourselves. And this can look like revolving your whole life around him, only seeing your friends when he's seeing his friends or when he's busy, not going to the gym anymore so you can spend more time with him, not doing self-care as much anymore because you are comfortable in the relationship and you feel like you don't need to impress anyone anymore, or maybe he doesn't like when you put effort into yourself because it makes him feel threatened. Big red flag. But overall, you have stopped putting in as much effort into yourself and as much time into your friends and your life out of the relationship. And in result, he has become the sole purpose of your life and your whole personality. Now think about this. If someone is being so obsessive towards you and they're always available and they're always there and they don't really have their own thing going on and their whole thing they've got going on is you have nowhere to go but to lean back. If they're just pouring so much into you, you're like, that's what's happening with the man. People on TikTok are always saying, I don't want to be doing these games in a relationship where I have to pull back and la. But what is worse, doing that or completely losing yourself in a relationship to a man?
Go ahead and comment. Is that something that women should be doing, pulling back in a relationship? Is a woman doing too much where she actually stopped caring for herself because she is too busy, I guess, staying up under that man? That's what she's saying, where you used to have a certain thing that you did for yourself. Hey, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing this. And now you kind of cut things out because you want to spend more time with him, and which I don't see a problem in that. But if it's not helping, and the way she's saying, if he's looking at someone else, and in some little words, are we letting ourselves go? Are we getting comfortable? Is that something that's happening? But can we say, hey, he's cheating on me? But then he might say, well, you got too comfortable. You used to do your hair, you used to do this. Well, but if I'm not going to spend that money on my hair because I rather buy groceries for us in this house or whatever the case might be, I want to cook you something extravagant when you get home from work. I want to do something nice for you. And it's like, at what cost is that if that's going to make him look the other way? So yeah, this is really interesting. Go ahead and comment below. Let me know what you think about her comment and what her input was.
Completely off the dynamic of a relationship where you're chasing him and you've lost yourself and he doesn't even appreciate you, when all I'm saying right now is not to play games, it's to start pouring back into your own life and into your own energy, seeing your friends, designate time to see your friends. It doesn't matter whether he's free or not. And then give him the opportunity to be like, we haven't spent much time together on the weekends. Maybe I should plan something instead of always you. I bet my bottom dollar that you're the one that says to him, we never do things anymore. You never plan things. La 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 la. Like, I know that you're probably thinking or saying those things to him, and he doesn't give a f if you guys spend time together or not, unfortunately. So if he's not prioritizing you, it's time for you to start prioritizing yourself. And these are very simple things that you can do to return back to yourself and return your power back to yourself.
This is a reminder that men will often tell on themselves. And as women, we have a tendency to completely ignore the signs, but they will often reveal their true intentions to us at some point, and we need to believe them when they do. Last year, I found myself in a full-blown situationship with a man who I genuinely think really liked me, but for various reasons was terrified of commitment. We were about 3 months into our situationship when one night we decided to sit down and record a podcast episode just for fun. I had all this equipment lying around and we had a tendency to get into these really deep talks. So we're like, why don't we just sit down and see what happens? So we get into this podcast episode, things are going great, but then he says the most bizarre statement. And I laugh it off because I'm like, there is no way this man could possibly be serious about what he just said. I'm going to play the clip right now.
Listen, I'm just here to show women how men should treat them and then disappear.
Huh. Talk about telling truths there. He said, I'm just here to show women how men should treat them, then disappear. Okay. We are listening. We're listening.
Okay? Poof. I'm not meant to be the one. I'm just meant to be the one to show you how the one should treat you. You know what I mean?
Oh my
I'm a
God.
preview of how men should be.
Oh God. Oh.
Now, would any of us, I don't know, like women, I want to know, like if a guy said that to you, would you just think he was playing around? Because you're kind of doing a podcast, you're having like a Q&A, some questions into your conversation. Are you running in that moment? Are you just like, I don't know I guess they were at her house, but are you packing up the podcast equipment and saying, okay, this is it? Because he sounds like he, just listening to his voice, that he might have had a smile across his face, like laughing a little bit. So I don't know how you can take somebody serious like that, but I don't know. Let's see if she should have taken him serious.
Oh my God. So as you probably heard, I am like laughing in the background because I'm like, there is no way. Like that is the most ridiculous statement to make. And up until this point, he had been treating me so well, like so well. Anyways, fast forward another 3 months. And when I tell you this man literally ghosted me, like just disappeared off the face of the earth after having spent 6 months with me consistently treating me super well. And then I had this, I remembered the podcast episode that we had recorded where he had literally said what he had just done. Now I know most of us are definitely not just like recording podcast episodes with men that we're dating, but I think for a lot of us, there comes points in our relationships where, you know, things are said that should, in theory, you know, raise alarm bells, and for whatever reason they don't. But let this be just your reminder to, like, when someone says something to you regarding how they feel about you, it's so important that you just take it for face value. It should never be an invitation to try harder or be seen as some sort of challenge. Believe them the first time. It'll save you so much heartache down the road.
You know how you can tell if someone loves and cares for you deeply? When they fuck up, if you say, hey, your actions hurt me or this hurts me, and their reaction to it. If they get defensive automatically, they're not the one, sis. Matter of fact, it just shows how much they disrespect you. Because how can you tell me someone who loves and cares for you deeply sits there, watches you cry or be upset about something and doesn't say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't want you to feel like that, let me fix it. If they give you any answer but that, you have your answer right there.
Oh, wow. I really, these women, listen, I have to say, sometimes you have to go through some things to actually get that wisdom, right? Get understanding. And that's unfortunate. Sometimes you have to have your heart broke to have your eyes open. So they're speaking some facts in here. I'm hearing some facts coming out these women's mouth when I just heard her say that, yeah, if they're saying anything other than, you know, how can we fix this? Okay, let me try to work on that. If all of a sudden you turn it back on me, oh, again, look in my previous videos, you'll see the content about a narcissist, a great content creator, where I got that from and did a reaction to. But no, when you're turning it back, you're not taking, my feelings into consideration. If I'm saying, hey, something you might have said hurt my feelings, something, and if you can't sit back and be like, you know what, now that I think of it, that did come off. But if you turn back and say, like the woman said previous in this video, well, back in 2020, you did this to me. It's like, what? Well, you always do that. Or I was feeling like that last week. And I hate that when somebody brings up something and you weren't aware of it. And I'm like, last week when? Something you kept to yourself and probably posted on social media, but you didn't tell me. But that right there, that is a red flag. Run, okay? Sometimes you just have to do that. You just have to run sometime.
Run, I tell you, run!
You ever had a man move on from you? You can't even be mad at the girl that he left you for. Cause I can't even lie, that's a good woman. She's a good woman, Savannah. Like, she's super thick, she's super cute, her body T. She looks like she can cook. I've never met the girl, but she looked like she can cook. And I feel like she has a lot more patience for you than I do. So I can't even talk. I can't talk about the girl at all. Honestly, in a different world, she's probably my best friend. So I don't have nothing to say. Like, people love to say, oh, you'll never find nobody better than me. You're never going to find anybody that ever compares to me. I don't say that. I don't say that. You'll never catch me saying you, depending on the category, baby, she might be whooping me. She might truly have me beat. Honestly, this could be a really good decision for you. Like, I'm not going to call it an upgrade, but it's some things that I'm not going to do for a man. It's some things that I'm just not going to do. And if she's willing to do it, I think that you made a good choice, brother.
You know what's a telltale sign that someone doesn't really like you? They just like the idea of you or of a relationship. Is that if they're not really asking you questions about yourself and like leaping at the chance to, at the opportunity, at the pleasure to get to know you more when you provide little nuggets of information about yourself. Like, oh, I really used to love that place when I was little. And they don't like leap at that and want to know more about it. Baby, they don't really like you. They don't really like you. They just want someone to hold at the end of the night. Because you have to remember that motherfuckers out here be so afraid of being alone. They be so afraid of it. So they will do anything and everything it takes to not be alone. So if they're not asking you questions about yourself, really trying to get to know you, jumping at the chance of any time you talk about yourself, then they just like the idea of having a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever. Those are the signs that you have to look out for immediately when you first start talking to someone. When you first barely start talking to someone, I'm talking like the first few conversations that you've ever had with them, and they're not consistently asking you questions about yourself and just only talking about themselves, oh, we should do this, or oh, we should do that. And then when you guys do said things, y'all don't really talk. It's just like, yeah, it was cool, whatever, but like, I don't really feel that much closer to them, like blah, 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 blah. It was just something to do. And they're not the one. They're not the one. Move on. You're better off single until your person who actually loves you and who actually wants to get to know you will come along. I promise.
Here's an insane piece of dating advice that we don't hear very often. If you're not attracted to them, you don't have to go out with them. You don't have to go out with them because maybe a spark will grow. You don't have to go out with them because maybe they're a nice guy. What I find so funny is, do you ever hear men like talking to their boys and being like, well, you know, maybe she's a good person, encouraging their buddies to go out with girls that they don't think are attractive? No, men will be the first to comment like on a girl's looks to their buddies if they don't think she's attractive. It's almost like if you're a girl and you have that want to settle down, get married, have kids, people are like, well, You need to give every man who is interested in you a chance if that's what you really want. No, we are also allowed to want to date guys where we think there is attraction. Now, in no means am I saying that you need to hold out for the perfect 10 and your perfect ideal man. But there needs to be some baseline of attraction there. Attraction for a man, it doesn't scale like if he's going to be like a good guy or not. Because trust me, I am in Are We Dating the Same Guy, Nashville, and I'm sure other cities can relate. Some of the pictures I see, is anyone talking to this man? Is this someone's man? Yeah, men will play you no matter what they look like. And if I'm going to be played by someone, I'd at least like to think they're a little bit hot. Oh, and just like a little side note, yes, attraction can grow. I do think that.
She said, if I'm going to be played by somebody, let them be a little hot anyway. That okay.
And maybe that's in a cute, like, friends to lovers kind of thing. Off the baseline, if you are going through your likes on Hinge and looking at who you want to go out with, if you are not attracted to that person, stop feeling guilty for not wanting to do it. Told you, advice was going to be a little insane. The fact that, like, that feels like an insane thing to say is awesome.
I should have known when he'd make little comments about his own sister being spoiled by the man who loves her. I should have known when he told me he was taking me on a vacation, actually the vacation where I picked up this breakup wine, and that everything was covered, to then later say he didn't recall that conversation and that he had said I was going to cover the flights.
Whoa, that was interesting, wasn't it? Okay, again, in the description, you'll find the information where this video came from. Again, it was Jody Island, the Island Girl. And I'm going to share another quick reel with you guys because what we just witnessed there were women who were coming to grips with they weren't liked by their husbands, their boyfriends, and majority were husbands, and some of them saying that they don't even think they were ever loved. And it's kind of like some of these relationships were just for convenience and all these years and time that they put in it. And, they're just leaving or they're tired of it. So, but we're going to look at that because sometimes you have the one story, if we remember, the woman who was actually every time the guy called her and say, hey, I need lunch at work. And she was acting like the dasher and she was going over there bringing him lunch. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that at all. But she's acting like the girlfriend of the year. But then when she asked for flowers, he's like, no, I don't get girls flowers. And a lot of times people are out here playing that kind of game. Like, oh, let's see where this girl's head at. If she want to be 50-50, is she going to pay for her meal on the first date? We have a lot of that, which has gone away from the traditional dates because, and I get it, guys. I see the videos where these women are buying expensive things at the restaurants. And listen, I have to ask you guys, why are you taking them to these restaurants? I'm not trying to usually the guy picks the date, right? He picks the place that he's taking her to. I don't know. Of course you're trying to impress the woman, but if you have to do all that to impress her, she's not the one. If you got to do all that, I mean, go for the chick that's okay with the simple. It's nice to do nice things, don't get me wrong, but a walk in the park where we can actually talk and get to know each other, all that extravagant and spending money, you're showing this money all on the first date. But then when she's expecting that, yeah, you're going to get some people out there that don't have your best interest at heart that are going to take advantage of that. But let's think about that guy who he wouldn't get her flowers. So let's look at this little video because there's sometimes guys, I know you have people in your ear. It might be your friends like, oh, yeah, I'm not doing nothing. I hear guys talk about it. I hear family members talk about it all the time, having these discussions. They're coming up because it's trending right now where they say, women are out here and, they just, these dates are, I just can't, I'm not taking her. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Or the guys now they're using, and it's not just guys, women are saying it. Hey, if a guy's doing something nice, they see a man doing something nice, all of a sudden he's a simp. Well, sometimes that word doesn't apply. And here's a person who's going to explain to you that you guys are sometimes tossing that word around, and that could be why you have people walking out of relationships when you stop giving up on what it means to be a man in a relationship. Chivalry, right? Why are we canceling that out? Anyway, let's check out what this guy has to say.
There's this post that been going viral of me and my wife when I opened the door for it. Right. I saw a young clown tell me that I was a simp because he saw me open the door for my wife. Now I usually don't focus on negativity, but I like teaching lessons. Since when did men become simps from being kind to a woman, for opening up the door, for allowing her to walk on the inside of you when you're walking on the sidewalk? Since when did men become simps from pulling out the chair? Since when did men become simps for being nice to women? Huh? Like, do you understand what a simp is? A simp is a person that get ran over, that get dogged out, that get mistreated any kind of way. That was my wife, you clown. She cooked for me. She got my kids. She nurtures my home. She nurtures me. Who raised you? So there's this post that been going viral of me and my wife when I opened the door for it. Right. I saw a young clown tell me that I was a simp because he saw me open the door for my wife. Now I use
I don't even know if you guys just seen that or not. Let me see. Did I share that? I'm going to see if I didn't share that. I don't think so. Let me just make sure that was shared with you guys. I don't even have it up here. Hold on one second. I'm sitting here watching it on my end, and I didn't realize you guys couldn't see it on your end. Let's see if I can share it one more time with you. All right, let's try that again because I don't think you guys seen it on your end because, yeah, I didn't see it up here when I came back. Let's try it again.
we don't focus on negativity, but I like teaching lessons. Since when did men become simps from being kind to a woman, for opening up the door, for allowing her to walk on the inside of you when you're walking on the sidewalk? Since when did men become simps from pulling out the chair? Since when did men become simps for being nice to women? Huh? Like, do you understand what a simp is? A simp is a person that get ran over, that get dogged out, that get mistreated any kind of way. That was my wife, you clown. She cooked for me. She got my kids. She nurtures my home. She nurtures me. Who raised you? So there's this post that been going viral of me and my wife, and I opened the door for it. Right.
Okay,
saw
guys.
a young
So
clown
it
tell me that I was
pauses.
a
It's
simp
pausing on its own,
because
but we got the idea of what he's saying. Okay. We got the idea of what he's saying. So, yeah. He's basically saying who is telling you guys that you're a simp. Why are you a simp? Why are you a simp if you basically are doing nice things for a woman? Why does that make you a simp? So that was interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about that? Are you a simp if you're doing nice things? Here's this man is opening the door for his wife, and people are saying he's a simp. Are we that lost that we can't even do nice things now? Now we just have to. We're just going to be treating women however now because some women out here made it bad for everyone else because the media, social media, the music industry with these songs and everything, they have some women that follow this whole, lifestyle of whatever the song says, I'm going to copy it, the I don't cook, I don't clean mentality or whatever the case might be. So because you have some women out there like that, that the Real Housewives of Atlanta mindset where they, whatever the case might be. And I'm not knocking anything you like to watch or listen to, but when you have a bunch of men out here complaining and believing that all women are starting to be like this or like this, it makes it hard for the good women that aren't doing this. So it does make it hard because you have people walking around thinking that everybody's like this and it's a shame. But we looked at some men today because a lot of times we're talking about women walking out. What about the men behind closed doors that are actually tossing their wife aside? Like, who is this woman in my house kind of thing? They've already moved on and she's just there and she's just existing. And when I want to post some pictures on social media and show a happy family, she's there for that purpose. I have a meal. When I need her to lay on her back, sometimes at my convenience, I can do that. But there's women saying it doesn't even feel like it's not enjoyable. It's only, when he wants to, and some of them saying that it's not even happening at all. Trust me. And I don't say this, take this, what they're saying lightly because I've experienced it and I know that that's a thing. Sometimes you can be in a relationship with somebody and they're showing you how they feel. They're showing you that they might not feel anything, but you make excuses for, oh, maybe he's having a bad day. No, it's maybe he just doesn't want you. And maybe he's just all about wasting your time until somebody else comes along. Well, that definitely wraps up the video. I took up enough of your time. Hope it was valuable. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. Go ahead and share it. Don't forget to like before you exit this video. Go ahead and hit that like button and also subscribe if you haven't done so already. But yeah, we have to pay attention to the signs when somebody's clearly showing you who they are. And they might not be the person for you. And, sometimes you might not find out until you're married. But when you have those signs, and what are you going to do with those signs? Are you just going to go past them? And you have women that are showing you that they went past them and look what they got. But, just think about that for a minute and Don't get into something that you later have to try to figure out how to get out of it. You know, like if you're seeing those signs already and you're just dating the person, now is the time to actually look at the whole picture and say, hey, this is something I want long term, or is it something that I'm willing to deal with for the long term? If not, just don't even waste your time. Okay, get with somebody that actually loves you and thinks highly of you. Okay, don't get with people that are all about themselves and they just need you for a season. Get with somebody who's going to love you for a lifetime. And you know what? That wraps it up. I hope you're wearing your smile. I want you to stay positive. And here at LUKE-N-SHAE'S place, we want you to know your mental health is important. A positive mentality is a destined reality. Wear your smile. Stay positive. Stay out of relationships with people who don't want you. Look at them signs. Don't go past them signs. Don't avoid them signs. Look at them. They're telling you exactly who they are. And stay blessed. Until next time. Take care.